Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm playing some MWR today. I don't think I have the... Oh, I do actually have the site equipped. Alright, cool. Just gotta get the remaining kills with the red dot sight. I think it's like 50 or 40 or something like that. That's all I got left. And then I have the G36C Gold, which honestly, the G36C, in my opinion, is highly underrated. People tend to make fun of it for being made out of polymer or plastic, and so they're like, some space age bullshit. I disagree. I think this gun was very innovative. Hey, yo, what up? Well, what's going on, Boop? It's been a while since I've seen you in my streams. I haven't been streaming too much. I've been mostly working. I was up for 32 hours 2 days ago, and the reason I say 2 days ago was because 2 days ago I got up at 7 in the morning, stayed up all day, went to work at 11. I held over, did a double shift. It's another 8 hours. Got off work at 3 in the afternoon the next day, went to bed, drove home. By the time I got home, it was like 4:13 or whatever, because I had to make a few stops along the way. And so by the time I got home, I went to bed, woke up at like 8 or 9, so only got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Then went back to work, which was last night / yesterday. And today I finally got some sleep because as soon as I got home, went to bed, then I woke up at around 4. So now I'm just kind of sort of up, just handling my business. I ate some food, got some grub in my system. Been working hard, man. I've been working doubles. I've worked 5 doubles in my 3 weeks of being there at my job, and it was not a full 3 weeks since my first week was 2 days of training at $10.10 an hour. They pay you minimum wage during your training time. And then after your 2 days of training, you're making 15 bucks an hour after those 2 days. I think it's $15.70 an hour or something like that, or 72 cents or something like that. I have to go look at my pay stub again. But I mean, it's decent money. It's great hours. There are some solid benefits. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's some decently solid benefits. So I'm just taking my first paycheck with all that overtime. I worked Christmas, so I have some holiday pay into the mix. So I got tons of money coming in. Oh, remind me again. What are you working towards career? So I'm a security guard. I work nights mostly, but I really want to pursue the security guard career. I might even get a career in law enforcement if the military doesn't work out, which I'm losing weight, working out, but I have to, in my opinion, I want to live a little before joining the military. That's my excuse, and it's a shitty excuse, don't get me wrong. If anybody that's in the military is watching, they know how shitty of an excuse that really is. But adulting or getting an adult mentality, because I don't want to join the military if I'm not going to have the mentality that I need to get through basic training. And I know it sounds like an excuse, and in a lot of ways, it's not too much of an excuse, but I mean it really can be, because I mean, I just want to be mature. I want to have been moved out and living independently. I don't want to have to enlist and then come straight home to my mom, and to the family. Be like, yeah, I ain't got nowhere else to go. I don't want an excuse. I want some life experience. And so it's not too late for me yet, but time's running out. You know what I mean? It's not too late, but time is running out. So it might not be solid. But I'm working out every single day. I'm gaining more muscle. I'm bench pressing 200 pounds. So for me, I can bench press not my full weight, but like 80% of my full weight, if not more. That's pretty freaking good, with all things considered. And I'm getting better at doing pull-ups. I've increased my maximum total of pull-ups by 3. I would only be able to get it out to maybe 10. Now I can get it out to 13, 14 on average. There were a few times where I made it to 16, but I was really pushing it. It wasn't like I was capable of doing much more after that. Push-ups, my form's getting better. You know, like, I'm just making progress, right? And so little by little, I'm making progress. And so long as I'm constantly leveling up in the game known as life, right? You know, I'm constantly doing things and, you know, trying to better myself. But really, without a lot of money, that can be kind of difficult to do. You don't need a lot of money to really, like, improve yourself. So this is MWR, so this is Modern Warfare 1, the classic original Modern Warfare 1, just remastered. Modern Warfare 2 is just the campaign remastered. This has melee weapons, and also has like weapon inspects and really badass looking camos, like the camo I have on my G36C right now. It's freaking awesome. I prestige, that's why I'm so low level, like I'm on prestige 6. So, you know, I mean, I like this game. I grinded it out. Like, I really enjoyed Modern Warfare. But, you know, I'm getting my hours in. So, as a security guard, I'm trying to get my armed guard license. Armed guard jobs usually pay much higher. And so, I don't know, it's kind of easy, because my job mostly involves sitting around. You know what I mean? I check bags. You know what I mean? It's not like it's really hardcore work, but you know, you do about 2 tours in your shift of the place in question. So for me, it's not too bad. You know, you're gonna walk like a quarter of a mile at least. That's how big the place is. So you're gonna walk about a half mile every day. So for me, you know, working on my legs, I love working on my legs, man. Like, I love leg workouts, air squats. That's a quick way to like really get your tendons better and whatnot. Not your tendons, it's just a great way for your legs to just hold more strength, because see, that's the thing, right? Your legs have to carry you every single day. So if you run out of energy walking up and down stairs and whatnot, it's because you got weak legs and a not so great core. You know, it's all in how you carry yourself, you know. And so for me, being as heavy as I am, you know, at around 254 standing at 6'1", 1.5", almost 6'2". Laughing my ass off. I do have weak legs, I guess. Yeah, so my leg pressing, like how much I can leg press is insane. I leg press 700 pounds. It's not great for your legs necessarily to do that much. You know, because it is strenuous, but I can do it, and that's what I like about it, is that I can push. I know the legs, I have like tree trunk legs, man, like it's insane. But at the same time, like I have, and it's an excuse, but I do have big bones. My bones are bigger. If you see the size of my hand, it's pretty insane. The size of my feet, you know, I wear size 16 shoes. I'm 6'1.5". I mean, I'm decently wide. Like my ribs, my bones are just naturally bigger, and so because they're bigger and they're bulkier, they weigh more. So naturally, my skeleton weighs a decent amount of weight all on its own. But you equate all the muscle and fat, and I did say fat. I'm not perfect. Like if you look at me, I have a belly. I hate it, but You know, it's nothing like, it's not like it's a fucking, it's not like it's a boulder belly. I don't look like the fucking Indiana Jones fucking boulder or anything like that. I'm not a chunky monkey, is I guess what I want to say. But I'll tell you one thing though, I'm definitely not skinny. I'm pretty average, but my arms are fucking humongous. Like just, I don't know, man. Like I'm a pretty built guy. I'm built different. And I'm fast too. When I get to like sprinting, I'm pretty decently fast. Because of my long legs and because I work out my legs so much, and you know, I'm just able to just get up and go. You know what I mean? And so a strenuous exercise I do is I walk laps around a small object like a table or something, and I'll try to get up. I'll count my steps, and I get up. When I get to 5,000 steps, I quit. The whole reason I do that, so my ankles and whatnot are just used to constantly moving and walking, so I can cover. So if I have to walk somewhere, I know I can cover the distance without it hurting nearly as much, because when you're wearing boots and stuff like that, heavy shoes like boots, or, you know, whatever, it adds a lot of weight to your feet, and so it also adds a lot of stress and pressure onto your feet, and so in your ankles and whatnot, and they start to hurt after a while. The more you just get those stronger, the more you can handle it better without it being as much of an issue. So one tip I learned to learn fast is to do like type of thing like first. Oh, to run fast. Honestly, man, sprinting, it requires you to use your torso. Like, it sounds weird, but if you move your shoulders and torso, like, with each step, like, if you're going to step right, move your, you know, right shoulder or whatever, move your body with each movement. And it's just, you know, you feel it. You're throwing, you're propelling yourself forward, you know what I mean? And that's my tip. It's also breathing. You got to know how to breathe. And that sounds weird, but the trick is breathing, because if you're not breathing while you're running, you're going to run out of breath. It's not that you're out of shape, it's just that you're not breathing properly. I'm sorry, my voice just... My vocal cords are like hand grenades, you know, when they explode, my voice gets loud all of a sudden. And then it resets. I'm sorry. For people wearing headphones. But, you know, I mean... Oh no, I was just telling my friend this, you know, I mean, I have some pretty rough opinions, man. Like, I mean, on the fat, pride, and LGBT transgender community thing, I have some pretty tough opinions about anything SJW. And it's not that I don't like people that, you know, that are fat. It's just like, I don't think it's healthy to tell people it's okay to sit down and eat and not be physically active. It's not good at all, because you see these people living very miserable lives, and you see them dying at really young ages, and it's very tragic that they're being lied to like that. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. In my opinion, like, I don't know, man. Like, it hurts, because I'm seeing these little ass kids. They look like fucking blimps, bro. Like, this little kid, bro, down the street, bro, it makes me fucking sad, bro. But he's so fucking fat, man. Like, he literally looks like a human 2-liter. And, I mean, it's not okay. You can't look at that and say that's healthy. You know, I mean, like, he's so young at the point where it's like, I think he's like 14 or 15 years old. But if he don't do something now, like, he's gonna be in high school super chunky, and he's not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that just sucks. That fucking sucks. Kids today just lack discipline and yes, discipline. That is exactly the fucking key, because, you know, I just lost my dad. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not crying about it. I'm not trying to say I'm super tough or whatnot or macho, but my dad was the kind of guy, if I cried at his funeral, he would fucking turn over in his grave and call me a pussy. You know, that's just the kind of guy he was. So, I mean, I grew up old school. I'm old fashioned. Like when I take a girl on a date, I open the door to the car, and I open the door to the restaurant, and I don't do it because I'm a simp. I do it because it's gentlemanlike. And that's the thing about women and guys. I think, you know, as a guy, I feel like it's my role to make a woman feel classy. Because if she doesn't feel classy, then she's not going to act like she's high value. Doesn't mean that high value means pretty. It means respectable. You know, they're soft. They listen. They're not, you know what I mean? Like I hate the bad bitch mentality because they think they can run some shit. Like they can run simps and they can run their boy toys, but they ain't running me because I'm a fucking man. I don't let a woman run me. And it's not some hyper masculine toxic bullshit. No, it's like I'm not paying 30 grand for a fucking ring. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, some of these women, you talk to them about how much money a man should make and how much a man should spend on shit. They're fucking delusional, man. They don't know what square space is. Like they lack common sense, right? They don't know what square foot space is. I've heard some of them say, I want a 4,000 square foot house. It's just like, okay, well, do you make enough money to afford that? Like, they don't have any idea of what money is. They don't, like, some of these women are so delusional, they think that, like, for instance, right, when they talk about having kids, some of them are super delusional. They want 5 or 6 different fucking kids living in their own individual fucking room. I'm sorry, bro, but if my twin brother made it out of the womb, he didn't, you know, he wasn't born, like he died at birth, alright, if he lived, me and him wouldn't have 2 separate fucking rooms, we'd be living in the same fucking room. It's just, I don't know, man. Yeah, like, women are complicated creatures. I mean, they are, because it's like, if they like you, they don't want you to like them right away. They want, like, women, like, today, that whole bullshit is retarded. Like, the whole, I don't know why it can't be simple, why you can't just go up to a girl and say, hey, you know, you look kind of nice, and, you know, a lot of women, you know, I don't know, growing up in school, I was always told I was ugly, I was this, I was that, I was mean. I wasn't mean at all. I was nice to literally everybody. And so, now that I'm an adult, years and years of mentally conditioning myself to be either rejected, you know, like, I don't know why I just cannot fit into society, but, and I can cry about it like a fucking pussy, or I can just say, if I can't adapt to society, maybe society has to adapt to me, and society ain't got the balls to adapt to me, because I'm too much for society to handle, and that's why ultimately they can't accept me. It's not some, oh, I'm better than you type bullshit. No, it's more like, you know, if everyone acts like a fucking pussy. I mean, for instance, like, here's an example. I was up for 32 fucking hours. I worked 16 hours, alright? You think I wanted to be at work being up 32 hours, working a 16-hour shift? Alright, man? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I made it happen. I made it work. I put in the time and the effort. Working towards success than sex has been life-changing for me. People tell me women will happen eventually. That's the thing about, you know, the thing with sex is, I was just telling me and my coworker were talking about this. My coworker's a girl. Alright? So her outlook on life is very different than most modern women. You know, but ultimately we both agreed that, you know, sex doesn't hold the same weight it used to have. You would only sleep with a person once you married that person. Once you really, like, discovered that person and really made that person a part of you. You know what I mean? Like, today we treat sex as if it's this careless action that's just a regular everyday thing. The problem with desensitization is, like, our society is desensitized to violence, right? So when we see violence on screen, we don't really think about, you know, the life that that person was living. You know, when we see violence, we think, you know, oh, that fucking sucks. You know, like it doesn't hold any weight. And when something doesn't hold any weight, it's gone down drastically. I'm hoping so, because I ain't getting married. Marriage is not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing if you find the right person. And I know that sounds stereotypical, but the reason it's a good thing is because, you know, it's a piece of paper that bounds you guys together, you know what I mean? It's a commitment. Now, the thing is, you don't need a piece of paper to say you love somebody. I get that. But at the same time, marriage it's more than just that. It's an act, right? It's an act of putting a ring on a girl's finger, and you know, getting the family together and accepting each other, and putting two families together. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if you look at it like that, it's symbolic. It holds some type of value. And if anybody has the intelligence to understand that, the symbolism behind it, then yeah, it holds a much deeper fucking meaning, right? And so, you know, and the problem is, mentally speaking, you know, the way our brains work. If you ask a brain surgeon about the different chemicals in our brain and how they affect our emotions and actions, it's all scientifically, like, you know, it all has a science to it. When you have sex or whatever, you know, you're releasing certain hormones in your brain, and now you become attached. Like, how many friends with benefits stories you have to hear before somebody catches feelings, and now all of a sudden it's drama or whatever. Like that whole friends with benefits bullshit just doesn't fucking work. Like, you know, I don't get it. I don't get how people can do that. I can't personally do that. I thought I could do that shit when I was younger. Like, I thought that was the cool shit, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't have to bound myself to one person. I'm like, you know, that's kind of gross. Sleeping around with all these different people. Like, it's kind of gross, because if they're doing the same thing, you know what I mean, then I'm not the only person they're with, and so they could be with someone really nasty. And, you know what I mean? Just, like, I started asking myself common sense questions, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that, you know, washed up actor or athlete or whoever the has been, you know what I mean, on TV complaining about where they went wrong. Because I'll be honest, I went wrong, but I made dumb choices that didn't hold any sort of accountability to the point where I'd have to regret them for the rest of my life. Like, I did some dumb shit, you know. I did things a little differently. You know, I wish I could have made better choices when I was younger, but I'm 21 years old. Like, I still have my entire life ahead of me. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much shaming with that today. Hold on. I think people try to just want to have the, oh, I did it kind of badge or something. Feeling like, oh, I can't be ashamed. I can't be ashamed because I have the experience. Yeah, so my opinion on that is, when I look at, like, and I don't get this either. With guys and girls, if a guy has a high body count, that's not good. And some girls are like, oh, I could go with experience. Yeah, well, you know, if he's had better, if they have so much experience, they've probably had better. And the problem is, they might have adapted some sort of expectation, and if you don't meet that standard, you got to adapt you have to change yourself. And that's the problem, is people don't necessarily want to change themselves to be with somebody else. It's not healthy. Alright? I shouldn't have to change every aspect about myself to be with somebody. That's bullshit. Like, I get it, there's compromises, but that's the whole thing, right? I would much rather sit down and I'm like, alright, look, we disagree on one thing, or two things, or whatever, that's fine. But I'm not going to change who I am to be with you. You should love me for who I am, and I should love you for who you are. We shouldn't have to change ourselves to make that work. We should just have to let bygones be bygones. And I don't know. People cannot do that. People cannot admit that they're wrong. It's fucking stupid. If anything, just keep searching for someone that hits your list. Yeah, like for instance, right? This is a big red flag. I'm a 21-year-old man, alright? So, I'm still living at home. I'm no winner, alright? I'm still living at home with my mom. And I'm moving out in a few months. So, let's just get that addressed. I'm making life choices here. I'm going places. I'm not necessarily, like, delaying the process. I'm buying myself time at this point in time. Because I want to be able to do things the right way. I want to be able to have a clean slate when I move out. I don't want any debts, credit card or otherwise. I want a sense of security so that I can live a little, save a little, build something, get something going on. Because I was saying this to somebody the other day. My life goal is very materialistic. I want to be the first person in my family to own a Ferrari. Alright? And that hits people differently when they hear that. They're like, oh, well, how are you going to get it? How are we going to do this and that? You're not rich. Well, here's the thing. If I save my money with each paycheck and just don't spend it, after 20 years, I mean, I'll be 30 years old, or I'll be 40 years old in 20 years. I mean, that's still decently young. Not young, but yeah, that's middle-aged. You know what I mean? I would have lived life. I would have accomplished some things in between. I can be more complete. But here's the thing, right? When I'm 30, I could probably afford a Ferrari. If I just keep saving my money 10 years, you save $7 grand every year. Multiply that by 10, that's 70 grand. You could easily put a down payment on a Ferrari and finance it. I mean, you see what I mean? Like if I really apply myself, you know, and I get a better paying job and I start, you know, saving up money here and there, whatnot, doing things, selling my stocks, investing more, you know what I mean? If I start really applying myself, I can get a fucking Ferrari. I'm not going to sit back and cry and say, yeah, I can't afford my dream car. I can't do certain things in life. No, fuck that shit, dude. That's a loser fucking energy. If you kill yourself, if you shoot yourself down before you get there, you're never going to get there. And that's bullshit. And that's the problem with our generation. No one wants to work for anything. No one wants to put in the time or the work. It's if you really want something that fucking badly, by all means, apply yourself. Do better. Don't put yourself in bullshit situations. People act like they don't know what I mean. I put myself in a bullshit situation. I was damn near dating a girl with fucking 4 kids at 25 with 3 different baby dads. You know? I had to adapt to that parenting mentality for a little bit. And then, you know, that didn't work out. I don't care that it didn't work out. I'm glad it didn't work out because if it did work out, I would be financially bankrupt. I'd be responsible for someone else. Here's the problem, right? And I hate saying this because it's not that I won't date a girl that has kids that aren't mine. It's there's a certain level of respect that you have to give me to have to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just... Here's the problem. I'll compare it to video games. If I'm dating a chick that has someone else's kids, it's like playing on somebody else's game file. It's like picking up where they left off. And you have to pay for their mistake. You have to pay for their consequences. Not mistake. A kid is not a mistake. It's having a kid and running. That's the mistake. It's the running part, not the kid. I don't think the kids are a mistake. I hate when people fucking say that. It's so fucked up. But you know what I mean? It's like I have to pay for somebody else's consequences. I have to pay for someone else's mistake. And I mean mistake because if they're not with them, there's a reason they're not with them. You know what I mean? Like people leave relationships for a reason. There was a mistake. That was the relationship, not the kid, not the byproduct of that mistake. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a fair thing to say to a kid, is, you know what I mean? But that's my opinion on the matter. If you're dating a chick with kids, you're basically paying, you're playing on somebody else's save file. You know what I mean? You're picking up where they left off. And that's where I'll leave that. And it's not even a joke either, man. I'm dead ass serious, bro. Because, you know, I'm not playing games, bro. Because when I had to wipe a baby's ass, right, change a stinky diaper, you know, I had to adapt to that shit, man. And I'm 21 years old. And I'm like, dude, I can't be doing this right now. I gotta focus on getting my money up, man. I can't be doing this bullshit. Like, I'm still living in my mom's house. Look at the pot I'm pissing in. Okay, I have a BMW, right? People act like I'm fucking rich. I'm not. All right. I like the BMW because it's a high maintenance vehicle. It means if I want it, I have to take care of it. But I take care of my shit. I get the car maintenance. I get the fuel change when, or I get the fucking oil changed when it needs to be changed. And I have them do it because they're specialists. And the thing about a BMW, it's more complex than an average car. And my car doesn't have a fucking dipstick. It's not that I can't check the oil. I probably could. I could change my oil if I wanted to. But I don't have an oil pan. My mom doesn't want me to change the oil in the driveway or on the side of the street or in the garage. And besides that, I had to find a way to get rid of it. It seems like just a hassle that at this point in time, it's an inconvenience more than anything else. So I would much rather just pay the fuckers the fucking $100 or whatever bucks that they charge me to get my oil changed. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I make the payments on that car. I keep my car super fucking clean. And I have rules. No smoking. I smoke cigars, and I sometimes smoke cigarettes. No food, unless you're taking a sip of something. In which case, you have to earn that trust for me to trust you to. Raising someone else's kids is like playing on somebody else's save file. Bro, I'm saving this. I mean, like, I'm dead serious. Like, make it make sense, right? Like, make it make sense. I'm dead ass fucking. I'm not bullshitting, bro. It literally, bro. It's like that. And people act like they don't know what I'm talking about. And I do know what I'm talking about. That's why it's comedy. That's why I'm laughing at it. It's fucking true. And when a woman has baggage like that, I'm not saying I won't date a single mom. I will, but there are rules. There are, you know what I mean? There's a common level of decency, right? Like, they have to respect my boundaries. Like, when it comes down to disciplining the kid, hey, all right, I'll leave that mostly up to the woman. If it's her kid, I'll discipline the kid if I feel it necessary. And what I mean by discipline them, I mean, like, I'm not afraid to whoop ass. Like that's the thing. I think kids learn better that way. I learned better that way. You know, when I did something, I got a whooping from the fucking belt. All right, I hated it, but you know, I don't know, bro. Like, since the schools and the government and CPS have neutered parents from disciplining their children, children are running their parents, and that's bullshit. I'll be damned if I have some little 13-year-old little motherfucker, you know, telling me some bullshit on a video game without paying their taxes because they're a fucking kid with no job, telling me if I'm a bad parent or not. Like, that's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit, bro. I'd be damned. Have some little kid telling me how to run my shit, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that shit. Oh, that's the other thing, bro. Women that have humongous bungus titties. I mean, yeah, I mean, for us guys, like, we know. It's awesome. It's awesome when you have a woman that has physical features that you can be proud of, other than her face. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, some women think that because, you know, they're pretty busty, you know, they look good, they know they look good, they think they think that you're chasing them. They think that they control you. They think they got you by the balls. I don't ever let a woman run me. I'm sorry. I don't let a woman or a child run me. I'm the man. That's my rule. And that's my whole thing, right? Like, I don't... Well, see, that's the thing, though, right? That's a compromise. She doesn't have a good-looking face, but she's got a really nice-looking body. Yeah, people are like, you know, yeah, I want to date her, I want to be with her, but when you take her home, you take her to the bedroom, you're going to enjoy the other half of her. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing. Is like it's okay to settle for a woman. Like it's okay to settle sometimes. You know, like you're not always going to get the things you want in life. You know what I mean? You're not always going to get what you want. Okay, the other half. You know, like you know, the half that's concealed by clothing. You know, the half that no one else gets to see. The half that you enjoy after dinner. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. And you know, I mean that's a crazy thing, right? Like I've been on a few dates. I'm not a bad-looking guy necessarily. I think I'm ugly, decently ugly. I'm not the best-looking guy, but I'm not gonna shoot down my confidence. Like, you know, if I'm talking to a girl or whatnot, you know, it's all in charisma and, you know, presentation. Like right now, my presentation, my speech is dog shit right now because I'm in my own house. I was, you know, I was telling my coworker this. I feel like an old man sometimes at 21. Like I feel old as fuck, dude. I'm wearing my fucking bathrobe. I got my slippers on, my boxers on, with a bathrobe, and I'm reading like a book. Like I was reading Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and I was, you know, drinking some wine, and I had a cigar. I felt like an old fucker, dude. Yeah. But I feel old sometimes, man. I'm an old soul, is what I've been told. I was just raised old school. I have an appreciation for things I find. I have a taste for things. I believe I deserve the best things in life. And whatever that is, I deserve it. And I only deserve it if I'm willing to work for it. So see what I mean? It's not snobbery. If you're not getting things to rub them in people's faces, if you're not getting things to try and prove a point about your status, if you're getting things because you genuinely just want them, and you're willing to work for them, there's no reason to be ashamed to be proud of what you got. I'm proud of what I got because I worked hard for it. You know what I mean? It represents, like my car, my BMW. I keep it looking nice because it's a nice looking car. I'm not gonna lie. I love the way my car looks. It's beautiful. It's a sedan. It's not an SUV, and it's not some ugly, fat SUV, bulky piece of shit, non-sporty looking thing. Like, I have my opinion on cars, but the point is, you know, I wanted a certain type of car. I wanted something sporty. I got something sporty. So I keep it in really good condition because I got what I was lucky enough to get what I wanted. I consider that luck, right? Because when you're in shoes like mine, it's luck. I've been, you know, obviously I've had to finance it, and everyone makes fun of me for it. If they ain't got something to say about the way my car looks, they'll have something to say about the reliability or the expensiveness of a BMW, or they'll say, "Oh well, hey, I might not have, I might drive a Honda Pilot, but hey, I ain't gotta pay every month for it." Hey, you know what? I'm glad I pay every month for my car. You know why? Because I'm building my credit. I have almost a 700 credit score. To me, that's an achievement. I graduated early with extra credits. For me, that's an achievement. You know what I mean? Like I'm achieving something. I'm getting something out of it that will help me in the long run, in the grand scheme of things. Exactly. For me, as long as my car takes it from point A to point B, for me, from, you know, that's all I've ever cared about. My main focus is, yeah. For me, I'm a car nut. I'm a gun nut. I love anything mechanical. I like working on things. For me personally, I've always kind of liked BMWs and Fords. Fords are American, BMWs are German. For instance, right, there was a while I was dating a stripper. I'm not going to get too deep into it, as it goes against my values, but, I felt like Top G for a minute, I was dating this, she was beautiful, but, she had a killer body, beautiful face, like she's the kind of woman that you want to wife up, but then you realize, she's a stripper, so she doesn't care about me. And that's what it was. She didn't really care about me. She cared about the things I can do, the times and moments we can have together. And so, I'm still gonna see her because I'm single, So, I still see her from time to time. She's beautiful though, man. She's beautiful. Tan, brown eyes, long hair, long legs. She's beautiful, man. But having a beautiful girl and luxurious BMW sports car looking thing, with the fucking... I posted my car on my channel. You can go to my YouTube shorts. I cleaned my car one day and I filmed a YouTube shorts about it because I felt so glad that I cleaned it that day. I was so busy with work and everything, and when I finally got my car cleaned up, and I keep my car looking so nice, the interior and the exterior. But, having this beautiful girl in this clean, luxurious looking car, I'm wearing an Adidas tracksuit, I got my shit going on. I'm looking good, she's looking good, I'm feeling good, she's feeling good. It was a whole vibe. You know what I mean? It was a whole vibe. And I felt like I was on top of the world, taking her into places like Victoria's Secret, spending tons of money on lingerie and sexy things for her to wear. But, there's the other half of it that really sucks. And mentally, it was strenuous. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. You gotta have a stomach for that kind of shit, man. Like I just don't. I can't. I can't do it, man. Like, I want someone that will, love me for who I am. I think I'm a great person, and I'm not a narcissist when I say that. Like, the other day, my friend's struggling right now, and he just wants a pack of smokes, right? He can't beg anybody to save his life for like at least a cigarette, and like he was begging me. He's like, man, look, man, can you just get me an FT or whatever it was that they call those things, I don't know. And so I went and I bought my friend his favorite pack of menthol cigarettes, a pack, and that made him cry, because he ain't got no one supporting him like that, you know what I mean? Like, and I do things out of charity, and I don't do things I don't buy people's respect. I buy people things when they want them or need them, because I feel like when I feel like they're at their lowest, I want to be a light to help take away some of that darkness surrounding them. Whether that's emotionally, physically, like working out, getting them in a different mindset, working out with them. Some people don't like to work out alone. Some people like a workout buddy, taking them out to lunch. I do things for my friends. It's not that I'm buying a friendship. It's establishing levels of respect and being there for my friends when they need people there the most, when they ain't got nobody. Because it feels like I ain't got nobody sometimes. When my friends have other friends and they're with their friends more than me, it feels like, I really am alone. Or other friends, they're wrapped up in things. And I don't think that they don't like me. I'm not crying about their attention. I don't seek their attention. But it just sucks knowing that I don't get the time with them that I used to. But, like, at the same time, every time I see them, I'm like, wow, man, that's great, man. I always ask them about how they're doing, if they're with somebody, I always ask how they are. And I'm so glad to hear what my friends that I haven't spoke to in a while are doing great. I always keep in touch, man. That's the thing. When people say I'll stay in touch and they never call you, like when they say it when they say it the 8th time, I'll keep in touch, and they never call you. When you start to hear it, it just loses its value. I don't want my words to lose value, so I always try to make sure that when I say something, you believe it and it's going to be true. and it's truthful. And I don't lie. Like, I have really good principles. You know what I mean? I'm a great guy. I'm a hard worker. I'm dedicated. It's... Oh, I finally got it gold. Look at that. Oh, gold G36C. Look at that. I'll put the suppressor on there. Look at it, boys. Pair that up with my Beretta. Oh my god, it's so awesome. See, this is my everyday carry. Mine's on an M9, mine's a 92 FS, but we take pride in sex, but there's only so much of an effect it has in our life, rather than the now. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want people like, you know, oh yeah, I have a super high body count when they're bragging about shit like that. That's not something to be bragging about. That means that you're weak. If you feel that you have to get your attention by having sex, if you feel like you need to brag about something like that, you're insecure about something else. Like, deep down inside, if you have to brag about some shit like that, deep down inside there's something not right. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when women talk about how they have like 6 different guys in their DMs buying them shit, they're only saying that because that's what they really want. They want people's attention, and they're so prideful that they won't admit that that's what they really want. So they play it off so that they can try to get the attention of someone else who's like, huh, I wonder, you know, they got all these guys. Women act like there's some type of it's stereotypical pride, I suppose. Yeah, like, real pride is like, you know, like with my job. I'm proud that I'm a security guard. I'm proud that I have a solid paying job that gives me the right hours that I want, and it treats me with respect. Yeah, YouTube hates my subscribers or anybody that watches my content. They cut their messages short. So I've had situations where one of my subscriber buddies, I call them subscriber buddies because, you know, they go in a lot of my streams. At least they used to for a while. Big Cal homie. He would send me messages and they wouldn't go through. I don't know what YouTube has against me, but it was that. They would cut off my streams. They would not post notifications. It's shit like that. Yeah, that's funny. It's like the biggest meme on my channel that YouTube hates me. For a while, it really did. Whenever I started talking about political shit, I turned my channel full on politics. I would rant about politics, and I'd rant about the state of the United States and the world. You know what I mean? Ranting about things like I am now, but I was making some valid fucking points, and I always encourage people to have an opinion for themselves. Think for yourselves. Don't think because someone else told you to. Think for yourself. Think about where you fit in the bigger picture. You know, and I think when you tell people that, they think about it, then they really start to really open up their mind, and they start to really think about shit in a different light, in a different aspect. And I feel like some people need to hear that. You know what I mean? Think for yourself. Think about where you fit in all of this. It's good advice. Thank you. Exactly. It's great advice. Like, the way I see it, the way I fit into the world, where I fit in and everything, well, you know, I'm a security guard, so when a mass shooter enters a building, I'm the response. I'm the immediate response to some shit like that. So for me personally, when they talk about stricter gun laws and whatnot, they make it harder for the right guys to get guns, and they make it easier for the criminals to have more power. I'm not gonna say they make it easier for criminals to get guns, because, you know, a criminal can easily get a gun regardless. But you're making it easier for the criminal to be more empowered, because if you think about it, alright, if I'm gonna rob a bank, and say, I don't know, 3 people in the bank have a concealed carry permit, and they're carrying a piece on them, those are 3 possible heroes that can stop me. Or I can rob a bank and no one has a gun and there's no resistance whatsoever. I think I personally would want at least resistance as possible. And that's the thing. Terrorists think that way. They target things like schools because no one has a gun. No one can defend themselves. Everyone's vulnerable and weak. Not weak, but no one's gonna be more powerful than me. I got a gun. You know what I mean? That's the thought that goes through their head. So
that's why they choose places like that. It's because deep down they want to kill as many people as possible before dying. Because they're sick in the head, they're twisted people. But my excuse is, on the flip side, they're like, well, then we just need to ban guns. My excuse is, because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights. If someone takes their car, and this happened where I lived, some dude drove his truck at 130 miles per hour into a police cruiser and killed both him and the cop. Alright, the same guy ran over his daughter. Alright, she's still alive, but she has a broken leg. Alright, but a car is not a right, a car is a privilege. You know what I mean? Everybody drives cars. Can you imagine if everyone had guns, how little crime there would be? Because people are like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with these people. Like, you can go ask people in Texas. They're like, no one fucks with people in Texas. Everyone's polite for a reason, because everyone's packing heat. And no one's doing bullshit. It's statistically shown that places like New York, California, Chicago, places, big cities, big inner cities that have extremely tight gun control, gun laws that are super strict, and with a lower percentage of armed population in those general cities and regions, there's more crime rate in those general regions. New York's the crime capital, and they have the strictest gun laws. Explain to me, make it make sense. Explain to me. Because it doesn't work. That's why, ultimately. And I'm not trying to like be hyper political or advocating for shit, but I'm just gonna say this: it's common sense, folks. It's not complicated. All right, 2 + 2 = 4. You know, it's not complicated. My favorite part of school back when we had to hide in the classroom in the same location where the bad guy would know where we are, where we were to fight. Yeah, like, that's the thing, right? When people say huddle together, when a bullet penetrates through a person, it's going to hit someone else. If you're all huddled together and a bullet penetrates through 5 people, you're effectively killing more people without expending as much ammo. That's just not effective. The effective tactic altogether is to get out of the place. Get away from the danger. Right? That's the effective tactic. So, in a mass shooter event, that's why there's so many exits where my work is. There's so many exits, so many cameras, so many security checkpoints. I mean, I'm not an armed guard, so by all means, I'm not gonna die for a bunch of people I don't know or care about. Like, I'm personally not gonna die. But then again, no one's gonna shoot up the place I work because it's not a place to shoot up unless someone decides to go postal. I've always been on the fence about gun laws. Like, I can't blame people for carrying protection where it's needed, but let me say this, man. Right, so personally, as a person, I showed it on my channel a few times. I own guns, right? I mentioned, I carry a Beretta 92 FS. I'll never leave home without my Beretta. I never do. I can't. I don't feel safe. And I tell you why I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe because there's maniacs in the street. There's pedophiles everywhere. There's gang-related violence. There's people out there that are just not okay. There are crackheads and meth heads on the streets with knives that are trying to rob you so they can get crack money. Or they'll rob you of something you have to sell it for crack money. It's not complicated. But I don't feel like being robbed. I drive a decently nice car, right? I don't want someone in the car. I'm not getting carjacked. Fuck that shit. I work too goddamn hard for my shit. I pay my taxes. I follow the rules. There are a few simple rules to living in the United States. Don't fuck with the mail. Don't bother the FCC too much, and pay your taxes. You know what I mean? Like, don't do bullshit. I mean, it's that simple. Because I follow those rules, alright, like, I've had a pretty rough life myself. I'll admit it. There are times where I'm depressed. It doesn't mean I'm suicidal. It's okay to be depressed from time to time. It's okay to feel for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't take the time to understand, like, I don't know how to explain it, right? I mean, I was bullied my whole life. Throughout school and whatnot, I was always told I was different. And I can never fit in. I have been consistently rejected by women all the time, except for the few times where I wasn't. Those were some pretty good times. But, I've worked a few shitty jobs. I've had to do some bullshit for people. I'm always helping people. It doesn't mean that I feel bad about helping people. I feel great about helping people, and that's ultimately why I do. But I never take the time to myself. You know what I mean? Like,
Enemy UAV is airborne.
it's true people do have but yeah, no, on my tangent, like, right, like, I've lived a pretty rough life, man. Like, you know,
UAV is
my
online.
biological parents died when I was only 6 months old. My uncle, my aunt that are raising me, my aunt's putting me through a bunch of bullshit. My dad just passed, my uncle. But, you know what I mean? And I'm taking this shit in strides. I'm taking my shit like a man. You know what I mean? Like, when my grandma died 2 years ago, I mean, it was kind of rough too, but, I mean, like, I got through it by just I just kept working harder. You know what I mean? But at the same time, right, I have all this shit going on. People are like, well, you would be at high risk because you're the, statistically speaking, people that have been through high stressful situations like that, you know, tend to do these type of things. Like, that's bullshit.
Enemy helicopter approaching.
All my guns are safely stored.
Get the lead.
Some of them not so much. Some of them I have immediate access to when I need them. My AR-15 in particular. My AK in the basement's ready to go when I need it.
We've lost the lead.
I always have a... I did that on purpose. My Beretta 92 on my person. On my persons. Or on my person, I should say. Correct English. The whole reason, by the way, I got the M9 Gold. This is the, like I said, guys, this is the gun I carry in real life. But mine's a Beretta 92 FS. There's not much changes. There's a few different changes, but yeah, that's my everyday carry, so that's why I got it gold. It's my favorite handgun in the whole world. But you know, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm not here to spread hate. I'm here to spread positivity, but not positivity towards negative things. Like that fat pride BS. People are dying at, you know, 30 and 40, and that's fucking scary, right? You know, and it's so easy to get fat. This country promotes it,
Enemy helicopter approaching.
and that's a thing, right? When you say it's okay to be fat, the people you're promoting are like McDonald's and these places. You're making them make more money, and the people working there aren't making more money. The corporation's making more money. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, it's just a way of life. It's also crazy on Instagram. Speaking of McDonald's and workers and people that work there, there was this meme, bro. There was like this. There was. I want to say she's Mexican or Colombian. She was a Latina. Bro, she looked fire as fuck. She was a McDonald's worker. They compared her to Miss America or whatever, and it's like, the cute Latina working at McDonald's is hotter than the fucking beauty pageant supermodel, whatever. Like, to me, that's fucking funny. To me, that's fucking funny. like, to me, that's just comedy. Like, that really just goes to show that beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
I'm leaving it at that. To me, it's become a meme at this point. To me, that's comedy.
This is our last chance. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online.
always appreciate you hopping in my streams, man. I always like talking to you guys, man. I love it when my audience interacts with me, man. Like, I just love it, man. It's the whole reason I don't do YouTube for money. You already know, man. I don't do this shit for money. I do it for the experience. I do it to share my opinions and experience with other people, like-minded individuals. Build a community. Build people that build a community that spreads that level of positivity. This is good shit, man. It's good shit. And you take care for yourself, man. Bro, dude, bro, I really want a G36C, guys. I think I'm gonna save up for a civilian G36. I don't know, it's not called that, obviously, it's called something else, but it's basically a semi-auto G36C. But I really want one. I love the folding stock. I don't know, man, I love the recoil system. I mean, it's just such a, I don't know, I like it. It's such an awesome looking gun. Like, it was very innovative for the time. I really want that SP5. It's like an MP5. And I want to get it SBR'd with a 9.5-inch barrel. You know, like, I don't know, man. I love HK stuff, man. I really want to get some HK weapons and, some high dollar stuff. Some of their handguns are pretty fun, pretty awesome guns. In particular, though, guys, right now where I stand in terms of guns, I really want to get a Walther P99 Final Edition, straight out of the box. I really want one, and I want to get a bunch of the, Walther still has the magazines available. I want to get a few of the 15 rounders and maybe a couple 20 rounders and a few more 10 rounders for the thing, and get the Final Edition holster and cleaning mat. For me, that's kind of dope. It would be really dope if Walther even made their own Final Edition flashlight made specifically for it. I mean, that's really pushing it, but like, that would be fucking dope. I really like that Final Edition P99. I've always found those guns interesting. The first ever encounter I had with a P99, my buddy bought his first airsoft gun was a P99. Walther P99 or whatever it is. It's like, it's not a Glock, it's not a 1911, it's not a Beretta, it's not a Jericho, it's not a Desert Eagle. What is this gun? And so, I just started looking at it and I started recognizing it. It was in Modern Warfare 3. Dude, I love the gold. I love the gold camo. Look at that, I even got my sniper gold. Bro, you really know I'll be out here.
Let's do this, Marines.
Let's do this, Marines. I love this game. About to have this M16 gold, not even gonna lie. I really want to get the 1911 and the USP. That's one crazy gun I really want to get is a USP 45 in IRL. It doesn't have to have a suppressor on it, but it would be kind of dope if it did. Getting suppressors is kind of complicated. I really want to get two 92 FS handguns, the Berettas. And I really want to get them with suppressors on them, and just because I'm a big fan of the Boondock Saints, and those are the main weapons that they used, was a suppressed 92 FS. To my knowledge, I've seen in the Boondock Saints. What I remember, they bought all those guns. They bought some MP5s or whatever, but I don't think they ever used them. There's no scene specifically with them using an MP5. It would have been awesome. But it's crazy because I hear they're making a Boondock Saints 3, and I don't know why that went through my mind, but shit's awesome. I love my movies. But the crazy thing with the Walther P99 Final Edition, it's not a big deal, but I thought it was fucking dope. There's a challenge coin, it's like a coin that you flip, it has the heads and the tails or whatever, but it's of the pistol. It says the year they started making them, 1997 to 2023. It has on the coin, it's the pistol itself. It's like, dude, I wish more companies would do little shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine if like Colt made a lighter that was like made like a Zippo lighter or whatever that came with their gun that was the zip on the Zippo lighter had a 1911 printed on it or whatever. Like, that would be so cool if they started doing little shit like that for collector's editions for handguns or whatever. Or rifles or whatever, special editions of them. Because, you know, it'd be kind of cool if more companies did coins. I think coins are kind of cool. You can kind of collect them. Because to me, I'm a collector, and that's ultimately why I'm getting that P99. Because I don't have a high desire to everyday carry a P99, but I would have a desire to at least say I own one and fired it, operated it, cleaned it, took it apart, and be like, you know, have that experience with it. You know, but also get to physically own it and say, hey, this is part of my collection. And by the way, it's a final edition, so at some point in time, eventually it's gonna, you know, it's the influx, the desire for it and whatnot, and the shit with it, it's gonna be so high to the point where its resale value is gonna be way more than what I paid for it. And it's like, if I get it now while it's new, that'd be kind of dope. I also really want to get a Magnum Research Desert Eagle M50 AE. More because I don't know. I find the Desert Eagle to be a fun shooting handgun. And it's actually kind of fun. It doesn't feel like I'm shooting a 44. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm shooting necessarily a 6-shooter. Like, I'm not shooting a revolver. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Most Magnums are revolvers, and so the bulkiness, weight of the cylinder and whatnot, and just to me, I like that semi-automatic configuration, you know, whatever. Yeah, I get it, they're not always the most reliable, you know, with pressure and whatnot. Like there's a whole science behind it, but I like it. I like the Desert Eagle. I think it's a fun gun more than anything else. It's a range toy. It's not practical. People often say, this is one of the shittiest guns. It has no real purpose. Well, I like it. I think it's awesome, personally. When I start saving up my big dollars, I really want to get a chrome-plated Beretta 92 FS. Like the 92 FS, this gun, this pistol here, this M9/92 FS, this is my favorite handgun in the whole world. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, that's, I hope my collection of those pistols is gonna be pretty big. Like, I like Beretta stuff. Like, I instantly just started getting into the Beretta handguns and whatnot. Beretta makes some awesome shotguns, but I wish they made more rifles and carbines, honestly. Like, it's one of my wishes that they do. They make a rifle called the BRX. It's like a hunting rifle. It's a bolt action. I wish that they would make more bolt action rifles like they would shotguns, because I think it would be a pretty good market for them to make some high quality, you know, Italian made hunting rifles that you could, you know, just really nice wall pieces, really nice guns. You know, and when you think about, like, one of the high-end hunting gun brands that I really like, Seiko, like, they make some pretty awesome guns. Obviously, you know, for the average, being in the Midwest, growing up, everyone had either a Mossberg 500 or a Remington 870. You know, everyone had, like, everyone growing up, I mean, everyone had like a Remington or a Mossberg, something in their collection. Just, and even people that weren't into guns, that just only went hunting maybe twice a year or whatever, they had like a shotgun of some kind. Like, you know, it's my home defense, it's whatever I need. And, you know, they carry like a 38 special, you know, little snub-nosed 38 special for self-defense. Like, it's there if I ever need it. But, you know, and there's a lot of, like, people that are FUDs that aren't exactly against the AR-15, and like it's so strange, because growing up in the Midwest, like, there's a lot of people that are like FUDs, that are like, you know I don't really need this, but I just wanted it. You know, like, they know that the AR-15 for them doesn't meet a criteria that they have per se, but they own one anyway, and to me, it's like, they're not a FUD, but they're kind of a FUD in the same sense. but you know, like I hate FUDs, but there's a lot of people around here that are kind of like a FUD. They like firearms in that sense, and they don't treat them like they're more than just firearms. Like some people just get like really intense about it. They're like, yeah, no, this ain't just a firearm. This is a way of life. You know, some people get like dead ass super serious about it. It's like you know, like yeah, firearms should be treated with care and respect, and they should be treated pretty seriously. But at the same time, like some people just take it to a whole nother like level, and that can be kind of annoying from time to time. They act like it's, you know what I mean, something that if you own a firearm, you have to be a certain type of way. It's like no, like I mean, like I don't know. I was told once that like, oh, you know, you play video games and you don't seem responsible enough to own a gun. And I was told that, and I was just having a conversation about guns, and just out of nowhere, someone, you know, this guy, out of the middle of the conversation, like, you know, yeah, you don't really seem responsible enough to own one, personally, but that's just me. I'm not the government. It's like, dude, that's fucking rude as hell. Like, I don't care what you think I should own. I'm going to own what I want to own. Speaking of, guys, I'm probably going to end up getting a Ruger 5.56 MPR, multi-purpose rifle is what that stands for, with a Trijicon Egghog sight, Magpul angled foregrip, and a Surefire light. I don't know what Surefire I'm going to get, but it's going to be a Surefire. That makes some awesome flashlights. And you know, I'm just about to go really deck out this AR-15 just like everyone else decks out their AR-15s, and you know, I want you guys to be along with the journey. Like I really want to start doing more gun-related content because I'll be moved out. I'll be able to just, you know, my mom, she complains when I buy a new gun. She's like, another one? And it's like, I don't have to deal with that. I just own as many as I want. And so I'll be doing a lot more gun-related shit on the channel. Hopefully my roommate, best friend Steven, can be with me and be my cameraman. So with a dedicated cameraman, that's gonna make my life, like, I don't know, 1,000 times easier. Since he's my roommate, it's like, you know, like, we're really gonna ball this shit out, bro. If I start making real money from YouTube, like, I'm gonna make sure that I donate a little bit of it to, like, Wounded Warrior and Tunnels to Towers, you know, the type of organizations. And I don't know, if I really get into money with YouTube, if that's the case, I know I definitely want to donate to my local homeless shelters. I know some people out there are homeless and they don't exactly choose to be. Some people really do just choose to be homeless because it's easier. Some people are really built like that. Some people have that mentality, but some people are homeless for genuine reasons. And it's highly unfortunate, and you know, it's great that they have a shelter, a place to go that's off the street. You know, but like there's a difference between being homeless and being a crack addict living on the street, you know, and pissing and shitting where you please. Like, that's just culturally not acceptable in my opinion. And you know, I think that they really should just make more public spaces. I just don't know, like most stores have a bathroom or whatnot, but some stores don't let customers use bathrooms. Depends on what the store is. Alright. Well, guys, I got some good news for this game. I finally get what I've always wanted. Well, I've never always wanted this, but I've wanted it for a while now. Boom! Ding, ding, ding. All that hard work finally paid off. I like the way you said that Irish accent. That's kind of cool. But yep. I've always wanted this, the Lawman. So guess what I can do now? Private match. I'm truly a cowboy. Watch this, ladies and gents. I am a true cowboy. Yes, sirree, Bob. Whatever that means. I don't know. Yes, sirree, Bob. I don't know. I've always heard people say that. I don't really know where that came from, honestly. Sleight of hand. And we're going to go with steady aim. And for my melee weapons, guess what? It completes the look. So guess what I'm going to use for a melee weapon? I'm gonna use a beer bottle. Sarsaparilla seems more westerny. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That's a true cowboy. And I got my steady aim to increase my hip fire recoil, so I can shoot from the hip like a true cowboy. And I have sleight of hand, so I reload my weapons faster. And I have more ammo. I have a bandolier, so I have more ammo, like an actual cowboy. That's what I'm a vaquero now. I'm a cowboy. This is awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, I like the Lawman camo on some of these guns. Like, it's pretty cool looking, honestly. On some of them, not all of them, but most of them. But yeah, no, not gonna lie, guys. My only real complaint with some of the like guns or camos, I guess, in this or guns in this game is the shotgun category. There's only ever two shotguns: the M1014, awesome tactical shotgun. Yeah. It's basically a Benelli M4, but it's not a Benelli M4. I really do wish, though, that they did have another shotgun. I don't know what it should have been, but could you guys imagine in this game if they had like a KSG or something, some sort of high capacity option? Like I think two more shotgun, or at least maybe one more shotgun in the default category of guns would have been pretty awesome for this game. I don't know, I was at a gun show once and I saw a blue KSG, like it was straight up factory blue. And I don't know why it was blue, but it was just blue and I wanted it because it's like, you know, I don't really own any goofy guns like that yet. By the way, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to actually pay $5,000 and get a whole bunch of customized Gucci guns or whatever. Just to be like, yeah, you know, I have these strange weapons that are talking pieces more than anything else. But, you know, I'm also going to buy the meme gun. I'm going to buy the Taurus High Point for $100. I'm just going to own it and be like, yeah, I own the world's shittiest fucking pistol in the entire world. Congratulations for me, I own the world's cheapest handgun, basically. Like, I'm going to own a few Derringers, too. It's just like, you know, you own them because you just can. And that's just the awesome part about owning some guns. Sometimes you just go out and buy guns that are not practical just so you can just say you have them. It's comedy. It's true comedy. But, you know, with that being said, you know, I finally got this, and pairing it with that is just, oh my gosh, dude, that's badass. I can't believe I finally got my M40 gold. I really want to start getting more like hunting sniper rifle type of stuff, you know, more hunting rifles. Or scoped rifles, rather. You know, but that's just me personally. But you know, and at the same time, I want to get a lot of older vintage like guns from like the 60s or 70s. You know, like hunting rifles and whatnot. Some pretty average guns, but I really want to get some historic World War II, you know, type of firearms. It's always fun to get that milsurp stuff. That's an element of collecting. Some people don't really collect the milsurp stuff. Some people just buy a few guns. Like some people just might buy 3 or 4 guns and just say, "Hey, that's it. That's all I ever need." It's all I own 2 guns I've always kind of sort of liked or wanted, and I own 2 guns that are just, you know, for whatever reason, hunting or vice versa. Oh, I'm tired. I talk too fucking much. Oh. So, that being said, the G3 is fucking dope. I really wish I had one. I also cannot believe I got this gun gold, guys. Look at that. It's so awesome. Really need to get this one gold. Oh wait, I can actually check the status on my G30 or my G3. So yeah, I got to get those headshots, no attachments, and with the red dot. I think I can get that done. I think that's pretty feasible. Headshots are decent with this gun because it's so accurate. It's 7, so I need to start doing something to start getting ready for work. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.